All right, welcome back, everyone, to AI Accelerator Week. Sharpen your AI edge. It's great to have you here for day two, Manage Operations. I'm Chris Nordenson. I'm the manager of community here at House Call Pro.
And I'm Chris Weldon. I'm also on the community team, and we're your hosts for AI Accelerator Week. Y'all already see you doing it, but please keep dropping in the chat where you're joining from today. We love to see everyone who's in the room.
Yeah, and okay, yesterday was all about getting the job, right? And today is about what keeps the business running behind that. Because great work in the field really doesn't matter if the operation around it is a total scramble. This week is all about helping you sharpen your AI edge. We brought together pros who are using AI in their businesses every day with tools inside and out of House Call Pro to speed up tasks, remove the busy work, and grow their businesses. Whatever you take away this week, our goal is that you leave with real ideas that you can actually use.
Yeah, and a few quick notes before we kick things off today. Our amazing pros submitted their workflows as recordings, so you can see every detail up close. We've got members of our House Call Pro team, including product and AI leads, to give you more color on what's available inside House Call Pro and share some of the tools we love. So please make sure to drop the questions that you have in the chat as we go along. We've got people monitoring, and we'll try to get to every question. And seeing this common question come across yesterday and today, we'll be sharing all the recordings at the end of this week, so you can revisit anything, and you'll get a daily recap of today's recording as well later on.
Today's theme is manage operations. Everything you'll see today is about building the systems that keep your business running consistently, so the operation doesn't depend on you being in the actual room. Here's what we have today. Roland Leitenberg, Chief AI Officer and co-founder of House Call Pro, is kicking us off. He's going to talk about why the best operators run on systems, not effort, and how AI is what makes that possible without adding headcount. Then Anthony Sewell, the owner of Dade Super Cool Air Conditioning in Miami, is going to show you two things: a custom GPT agent he built using his own standard operating procedures and workflows, so anyone on his team could get answers without tracking him down. He'll also show you how to use Claude to turn your entire House Call Pro tag list into a clean, categorized, documented system in just 15 minutes. And then after Anthony, Vern Crawford is back again. He's the owner of Flow Logic Automation. He's going to connect Claude directly to House Call Pro using something called a Model Context Protocol, known as an MCP, to put a real performance snapshot from live HCP data and show you how to turn your numbers into specific actions. Then Adam Lindquist, our product marketing manager for AI at House Call Pro, is going to walk you through Help AI inside your HCP account. There's no setup required, no extra tools. It's already there. And Skylar Hoover from our AI solutions team here at HCP is going to close us out with a workflow that reads your incoming emails, decides what's time sensitive, and sends a professional reply automatically. There's no coding required. Okay, let's get into it. Roland, I'll hand it over to you.
All right. It looks like I'm on stage. Can I get thumbs up from the back crew in the backstage there? Yeah, thumbs up. Cool. Awesome. Well, yesterday, I'm so glad you guys are all here, by the way. I think leading into AI is great. And just because you guys are here today and leading in really means you're taking this seriously, not just your business, but just your future. So thanks for joining today. Yesterday, like Nordo and what we're saying, it's all about the customer side. Today, we're talking about the other half of the equation, which is your business side, and what happens after the call comes in. So as you all know, building home service business used to be good at just, if you're good at your job, you're going to have a great business and it'll all work. And I think that that's still the case. But I think now with AI, and especially on the operational side of the business, you got the opportunity to build a great business that kind of runs without you having to do as much manual work as you used to before. And so that's where we're going to be spending today. I've got about 8 to 10 minutes. I don't know, whenever the team pulls me off of the stage here to set it up. And then it's always better to listen to pros that are doing it themselves. So I'm super excited. We got Anthony and Vern, and we got Adam and Skylar and team here to help you guys here. So first slide here is, great operators, they run on systems. I see a lot of pros. I talk to a lot of pros, hundreds of thousands of pros. The ones that are pulling away from the pack really figured out something specific. The AI doesn't make them better at the trade. It just makes the business around them better and run without them having to carry it themselves. I think a lot of shops live inside of your guys' heads, inside the owner's heads. If you guys take a sick day, dispatch breaks or stuff goes down, it's tough. If the owner sells, one day, whenever you want out, the buyer realizes that, they bought a job and not a company. Hopefully it doesn't get to that place. But I think internal work is what eats your time. And I think that it never makes it to the top of your priority list, because you're always going to get that customer that needs your help right away. You're always going to have, some other fire to put out. And keeping data clean, something that Anthony's going to talk about here, categorizing jobs the same way every single time, knowing what actually happened last week, those things are critical to building a great operating system. And in order to do that, you got to have good data in, because with AI and building anything from systems up, you got to start with good data. So it's super critical to label these things. And now a lot of these parts can happen automatically. And that's what we're going to be talking a little bit here. It used to take hours to do this kind of stuff, hours to organize tags, automate certain things. AI can now do it in minutes. So let's talk a little bit about consistency, because if you're not doing the same thing every single time, you're going to have a hard time doing the same. Here we go. Let's go to the next slide here. Consistency. There we go. Cool. You're going to have a really tough time maintaining this good data. Things that are high volume, things that are repetitive, these are things that AI are great in. And these are key to building systems for your business. And so the same categorization and decisions, AI can help you with that. The same data gets entered across all of your jobs. When your team is working from a clean documented system, it helps the team as well. It helps your technicians. They're partly responsible for getting some of the data for the things that you're building into the system. But also, if they start with something that's clean, it helps them maintain it's clean. If you have tags that are clean, if you've got notes, if you've got SKUs, if you've got price book, things that start off well entered, it helps them maintain it. Remember, it's easier to keep a clean house if you start with a clean house. It's much harder to go from dirty to clean every single day. And so I think the input's already there. Your tags, your job data, your customer records, your weekly numbers. If all those things are in there, that's kind of the building blocks to be able to kind of unlock a lot of these efficiency gains kind of from AI, which gets us to here. AI multiplies the team you already have, and they're not replacing your team. And for parts of jobs or parts of tasks that your current team members are doing that AI can take over entirely, it allows them to focus on things that matter even more to your business, that take more creative thought, that take more human thought. So here's two kind of concrete examples. This will kind of tee up the other demos that you guys are going to have a little bit later here today in the session. But a team member who cleans documented tagging systems doesn't have to ask the owner how to categorize every job. They follow a system. And so I see this all the time. People have like 3 tags for Google, one spelled with 3 O's, one spelled with like just 1 O, but with 2 E's. And these simple mistakes can be fixed very easily, which will also help AI in the long run understand. Now, AI can do a bunch of cleanup work for you, and Anthony's going to show you those things, but that's just a simple thing. If you've got humans that are constantly cleaning up tags after every single job, adding tags, merging tags, those types of things, it's just a time sink. And for those of you running House Call Pro, that tags is kind of a cornerstone to getting good reporting. So you got to build that good data in. Another example here is, if you're pulling weekly snapshots from your own House Call Pro data, your conversion rate, your completion rates, the amount of jobs you have dispatched, amount of jobs you have on the board in the next 3 days, amount of capacity you have available in the next 2 days. If you're doing that by hand, Vern's going to show you how you can do this in a more automated fashion. And very soon here, House Call Pro AI, which we might be sneak previewing at some point here, either today, tomorrow, or afterwards, you'll see how you can get access to this much, much quicker. So if you've got CSR that's doing 50 calls a day and is now overseeing CSR AI that's handling some of the easy calls, you're now allowing that CSR to focus on those high value, high ticket jobs. There may be a hot list of jobs that are unbooked over $1,000 worth of value that you can now have AI extract for you. That allows them to work on those high value tasks rather than some of the easy calls that are kind of coming in where you just got to get a tune up, out the door. Dispatcher reviewing routes, this is a great one where we'll show you today too. You can have AI start with a build and then give a couple options and then still have the human kind of make that end decision. So the initial routing decisions, you can still kind of take that weight off and systemize those pieces. And what you're doing here is you're multiplying the team you have. You're making them more efficient at doing harder things rather than focusing on these repetitive ones that keep coming. So I think that lands us here on the slide that I think actually matters the most. And this is what happens when the owner isn't the bottleneck. And look, as a co-founder, I want to be really direct about where this is going. House Call Pro is where your job data and your customer interactions already live. That's the raw material that AI needs to turn your operation into something that just has more clarity, more systems built into it. So every job, every tag, every completed workflow, is an input. And the platform, House Call Pro, knows when the job's complete, when an estimate's sent out, when the call came in, when someone opened the estimate, looked at it, what's it available to work with. And what we're building here toward is a business where the operational layer can start to run itself. At least we like to say the busy work kind of runs itself. So the stuff you don't want to do, and that may be different for all different types of people. Some people enjoy doing some of the manual work or like to have eyes on it, and that's great. But we need to build a place where it's not just on you to make sure nothing falls through the cracks, that you kind of have that backup there. And every customer deserves a response, and every touch point happens. No estimate you've given should be dropping off, not getting 3 to 4 follow-ups in the least. So I think many of you, and maybe it starts with like a little bit of extreme ownership. I'm a big fan of Jocko Willink. I got the chance to interview him a couple of years ago. But you have to be honest with yourself. Most of you guys in this room still right now are a big bottleneck. Now you're trying to, unbecome a bottleneck by learning a little bit more. But you guys are probably going to shake your head when I say this, but most of you guys are either the best closers for the business, you're probably the best dispatcher, or you're definitely the best problem solver in the business, and you're probably the best customer interactor. Everyone always wants to talk to the owner, but remember that's not necessarily a flex. And I think that just puts a ceiling and a cap onto where your business can take. And so, I think the operation behind your business here is either a system or a scramble. And today we're going to help kind of unscramble some of the parts that are probably taking a lot of time away. And so I'm just really excited because Anthony here started with his data and the other one started with tags. And I think building a system that helps AI leverage all the pieces of data that is going to take some of these things off of your plate so that you can go build an operationally efficient business. And this is with AI helping, not replacing. So I'm excited. I'm going to walk off. I'm going to let the real pros take the stage, share their workflows. I hope you guys get some good value out of this. If you guys are ever curious about anything, always feel free to reach out to me. Thank you guys here. And, we're here to champion you guys to success. See ya.
Thanks so much, Roland, for setting the stage for us there. That shift from running on effort, running all that busy work yourself to running on systems is the game changer. And you just laid out exactly why the operations layer is where AI compounds the fastest. As Roland said, up next, we have Anthony Suau. He's the owner of Dade Super Cool Air Conditioning in Miami. And he's going to show you two things. First, a custom ChatGPT agent built on his own SOPs. So anyone on his team can get step-by-step answers without tracking them down. And then he's going to show us how he used Claude to clean up his House Call Pro tag system, again, in just 15 minutes. Clean tags mean better reports, smarter automations, and a team that doesn't need to ask the owner every single question. Let's take a look at what Anthony has for us.
Hey guys, this is Anthony with Day Super Air Conditioning. I'm just going to show you a quick video on what you can do with ChatGPT. We're going to do a quick custom agent, and we're going to try to have some fun with it. So basically, what we're going to do is tell it that we need help on creating that custom agent. So I want to create a custom agent to help me with my FSM software house call pro. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go to house call pro help. And they have that help page. Here it is right there. And we're just going to copy that. Here is their help page filled with different articles. Paste that there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to duplicate this, and we're going to go here, explore GPTs, create one, test AI boot camp. So now we're just going to go back and forth. It's going to start thinking, and it's going to start telling me what to do. I'm an air conditioning company based out of Miami. ChatGPT does have information about my company. I did give it my website. I did give it my personality and what we're wanting. And basically, it's going to use that data and use what we're looking for as a reference point. So, for example, how do I do this in House Call Pro, train staff, blah, blah, blah. Okay, so basically, it's asking us, what does the agent need to do for us? And if it needs us to help write SOPs, if it needs us to have best practices for the field, help troubleshooting, how do I do this in House Call Pro, blah, blah, blah. And what source should I use? House Call Pro articles, company workflows, pricing process, internal docs, screenshots. So internal docs are going to be your SOPs. If you have a price book on a spreadsheet, if you've got steps or guides, or if you got training manuals, things like that are definitely going to help. So in this instance, we're just going to go to House Call Pros. I'm not going to do this. We're just going to go to the one that I already created, and that's going to be the SOP guide right here, right here. So basically, eventually we went through the whole process. It told me what I should make its role, and I copied and pasted. I even copied and pasted the description and even the conversation starters. Now, I did have a lot of files here that I could upload. My commission requirements, my workflow for field personnel, my dispatcher agendas, glossary for accounting terms, a call flow guide. So basically, how do you handle calls, a job flow chart, and so on and so forth. This is the knowledge base. This is what it's going to be referencing. Now in here, obviously you can't do that with House Call Pro's Help Center. So you can also input here websites, and you can tell it to reference other GPTs. Sometimes that one works. And then the other websites are somewhere in this text, but it does reference the House Call Pro Help site, website. And then you ask it what its capabilities are. If you want to use code interpreter, I do recommend that if you're going to use House Call Pros, if you want to use like the API, since there's code in there. And web search is definitely going to be a very important one because the Help Center is an API. Canvas, you could probably turn off. That's just, I don't know why I even have it on, to be honest with you. So we'll turn that off. And then you hit update. Once you hit update, come over here and we'll practice. And before you hit, you get out of it, you'll just ask it like, how do I create an estimate in a job in-house call? And it's basically going to give you a step-by-step guide on how to do that. So part one, stop work, explain to the issue to the customer. So this is my SOP. And then step-by-step inside the job, open the job, go to the customers in House Pro, more options, create an estimate or a new estimate. Then it's going to give you the description tied with my personal sales SOP. And basically it gives you the step-by-step guide, tell them what job tags to add. So going back to a reference video that I had before, show you really quick. So recommendations is going to be under job tag, somewhere around here. There you go. So it referenced this right here. So a tech made recommendation on the job, track to follow. So we know that the technician did make recommendations on that job, and I can run a report on that as well. A perfect example is good, better, best. So you definitely could do that. I also have other GBTs that for like field tech. Basically what this one is, I uploaded books that I've read, some manuals. If I found stuff online, I just copied and pasted it into ChatGPT and I created one whole large PDF file, it's like a whole summary. And then I told it to reference other websites and other books. So it does that too. And then if I wanted to do like role play stuff, I created a sales one. So Field didn't build sales. I told it to reference specific people, certain books, different methods, and basically it gives me reasons, and it finds my weak points on why I should not use certain words. I've used this honestly with Comcast, and I was able to lower my Comcast bill because I was able to copy and paste the chat and go back and forth with whoever was on the other side chatting, and we actually came to an agreement of lowering my bill and having still good service. But anyways, ChatGPT, you can create custom LLMs. You can do the same thing with Gemini. In my opinion, ChatGPT is a little bit stronger. Claude is really good with numbers, coding, spreadsheets. Fantastic. In my opinion, best way to do it is get your feet wet. Probably with ChatGPT, it's the most popular one. It's the most basic one. Prompting is the number one key. I would probably say you can go to the custom GBT store, explore GBT, and probably type the word prompt generator or something like that. And you can definitely AI video prompt generator, Sunu prompt generator, AI prompt generator. So some of them are lyrics, some of them are AI video prompts, and there's basically an entire store. Canva prompts, things for writing, things for productivity. There's a lot you can do with ChatGPT, and if you're just starting, that's probably enough for most contractors. I'm going to show you really quick what I did here with Claude. Just made my life a little bit easier. Something that probably would have taken me maybe an hour or two took about 15 minutes. So basically what I did here was I did this a while back. I was trying to be a little bit more organized and have a list of all my tags that I had in House Call Pro, or like my labels. And I try to have it in categories like address nodes, customer notes, job tags and customer tags, lead source, etc. And it was in order to just have everybody on the same page. Maintenance every 30 days. That's like a service agreement. That's going to be in the customer tags. but there was really no description here. And so I figured, hey, how can I have an explanation so that they don't have to ask me like, hey, is it a job tag or a customer tag, or why does it go there, and so on and so forth. So basically, what I did was since this was old and I wasn't really keeping it up to date, I created a new list. Basically, what I did was I went to my Oscal Pro, went to my settings, scrolled all the way down to the bottom, went to tags, highlighted everything, copy, paste until I was done with that list. And I came up with this. So basically, these are all my tags. Some of them are just claim numbers, things that are just a one-off thing. And basically, I only use it once. And I then basically got Claude, and I created the integration. Or I didn't create the integration; they already have it with Microsoft. I just added it, and when you do that, you get this little chat bot. Let's see if I can get my face out of the way. There you go. And over here, you're just going to tell it what you want it to do. And I'll give you a quick, easy example of what I told it to do. Basically, I gave it a long list of stuff to do. I'll show you what it does. But before I hit enter, I'm just going to show you the outcome. The outcome of this, it's right here. So it creates a new sheet down here, separates all the tags from property types, customer personality, relationships, and it tells me what tag it should belong to based off of what I gave it as information and what my heart and goal was. And then it gave me my explanation that I was talking about, literally within minutes. So here's what it looks like here. I also told it to give me some recommended new tags that I don't have that would probably make sense. And there's that. And this is why they recommend it. So we'll go back to that original file. And basically, I told it what I wanted to do, typed it all here. And once I do that, I hit enter. And now it's just going to start thinking. It's going to read the sheets. It's going to take a little minute because the sheet does contain a lot of data. And now it's cross-referencing both sheets. Sheet number 1, which is tags down there, and sheet number 2, which is the new tags, which some of them are going to be duplicate to the original sheet, tag 1. So now it's going to categorize the tag. And then you're going to see that down here, it may actually ask me if I give it permission to modify this file. I can give it a one-time permission, or it's going to say dangerously allow permission always. It's at your own risk. You can, if it's a backup file like this one is, you can allow it and just let it do its thing and see what it's capable of doing. If you want to do it one time, check it. Do it again, one time, check it. It'll take a little bit longer, but a lot less risk, because if it starts to go a little crazy, you can stop it. You can say undo and take it back a couple steps. So I definitely recommend you using Claude for anything that has to do with spreadsheets, and especially for tags, to organize yourself and have a good SOP. Once you do that, I'll let this analyze. You can plug it into ChatGPT, and you can start talking to ChatGPT. You can reference that file, and you can have a full conversation with ChatGPT. I recommend using ChatGPT for that kind of stuff because there's no tokens, and you won't run out of those tokens if you're on the paid version, that is. Other than that, that's about it. This will run for about 5-10 minutes like this, and eventually it'll just spit out this right here. It's a copy and paste of what I just did. So this is the end result. So good luck. If you have anything that you need help with, feel free to reach out to me. Shoot me a DM on Facebook. I'd gladly help anybody out. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks so much, Anthony. Anthony's using two tools there. The ChatGPT and Claude, and two completely separate use cases. By the way, if you're in the community group and you see Anthony, ask him about his Rockstar video that he created for Dade Super Cool air conditioning. It's pretty fun, and I'm sure you would share a prompt if you want to have some fun with it. Okay, the custom GPT agent that Anthony built means his team has answers at their fingertips. They're trained on actual SOPs, and then 15 minutes with Claude to clean up a tag list that would have taken hours to sort through manually. That's the kind of leverage that really compounds and builds upon itself. And now we're going to move from organizing your data to pulling insights from that data. Vern Crawford was with us yesterday. He's going to be back again. Vern owns Flow Logic Automation. He's going to connect Claude directly to House Call Pro using an MCP connection and pull a real performance snapshot from live HCP data. You'll see exactly how to ask Claude to act as your business consultant and tell you what the numbers are saying. Let's check it out.
Welcome to AI Bootcamp Week. The team asked me to share a couple of workflows that I use on a daily or weekly basis, connecting AI to House Call Pro. So I've got here, I've got Claude Desktop pulled up, and I've already started a new chat. And the only thing I've done so far in this chat is I've told Claude how to connect to the House Call Pro account. And what it's doing is it's going to use a bridge. You can think of it in your mind as a bridge called an MCP, a Model Context Protocol. And all that is it's the set of instructions that you'll see people talking about in the Facebook group, the API connections. Each connection point inside the API documentation is called an endpoint. And so the MCP, what that does is it compiles all of the API endpoints, but it also includes instructions so that when an AI, like Claude here, is trying to connect to the data or try to pull information from House Call Pro, the MCP has the instructions of here's what to look for, here's when to use this tool versus this tool, and other information like that. So it makes it a lot easier for the AI to successfully do what you want it to do. And it also makes it so that it's more repeatable. What you'll run into when you try to do things manually through just a single API connection is you have to maintain that context. You have to stay in that chat. And then that starts to run, you'll start to run into problems the more API connections you try to use in a single chat. You'll start to confuse the AI. At least that's been my experience. So let's start off with Claude here. And one of the great things about using Claude as a connection point, or even using Codex, if you have an open AI subscription, this would work in there too, is we can actually use the microphone. So and if you're not super savvy with the keyboard, it's a great option to really get the speed out of what you're trying to do with your AI. So let's take a look here. Let's ask Claude some good questions. Another really great use case is to look at overall business health, overall business KPIs. And you'll see a lot of those talked about, like average ticket or speed to lead. We want to know how quickly we're getting these customers. So rather than having to spend a ton of money on business consultants to evaluate how your business is doing, instead you can use AI as your business consultant to tell you how your business is doing and help you look for opportunities. And this is to go like 30,000 feet view. Instead of being in the weeds in the operations, how's the operations doing? This is going to be holistic overall. So this chat was from a few weeks ago, and it's going to look at in particular week. You'll see here March 7 through 14. And so the prompt that I put in was Claude, you're my business consultant. I want you to look at last week's jobs and evaluate our performance. And this is the output. So this is exactly what came out of it. So it looked at all of the jobs, everything that got ran, again, a lot of home warranty, and then a little bit of HVAC in there too. And then here's the weekly snapshot. So a little bit different than the dashboard that we got for operations. but equally as powerful, I think. Revenue profile, and then 3 actions to improve performance. So convert need scheduling jobs within 24 hours, capture and bill the non-covered costs on every warranty job at the time of service. That's a huge one, you know. Grow the retail channel. Great advice. Awesome. And then it gives you kind of like an executive summary of things to look at, the things to improve upon, and where your opportunities are. So what makes all of this possible through this particular demo is the MCP, the Model Context Protocol, that I built with the help of AI, and it's currently available on the platform called Appify. And if you go to Appify, all you have to do is search for Flow Logic Automation, and it will come up. It's the only actor in there right now that I've built. And that is going to be the House Call Pro MCP. So it's got all of the available endpoints currently in the API documentation to let you connect whichever AI you want to use to your House Call Pro account. And so that's what I've used for these demonstrations here. And the way that you set that up is you go to Appify, you sign up for an account. Appify is free. They give you $5 free dollars worth of credit every single month. So if you're only using it once a week, let's say, just to evaluate how the previous week was, it's completely free. So you're not going to go through your $5 budget if you're only using this once a week. And then you're going to enable developer mode in your Claude desktop. In Codex, it's going to be a little bit different. We could do a separate video on that. But in Claude desktop, in developer, this is where you're going to set up the configuration for the MCP server from Appify. And so that's out there, published, it's available. You don't need me to connect that for you. If you feel confident, you can just use your AI. Claude will literally walk you through it. You just take the link from Appify and paste that link into Claude and say, hey, I want to use this. Walk me through it. How do I use this? And then Claude will give you all of the instructions. Makes it super simple. If you run into any issues, just copy whatever errors you're getting and say, hey, Claude, this didn't work. Here's the error that I'm getting. How do we fix this? And then it'll just walk you through it. Super, super simple.
All right. Thanks again, Vern, for walking us through that. Vern was with us yesterday, back today. Connecting Claude to your House Call Pro data through an MCP is something you can set up in a single afternoon. And once it's running, you have a direct line from your House Call Pro account to a business consultant who's always on call. The weekly performance snapshot that Vern just pulled with completion rates, billing, and job data, that's a view of your business that most pros have really never had before. Okay, now I want to hand it over to Adam Lindquist. He's our product marketing manager for AI here at House Call Pro. Adam's going to show you what Help AI can do right inside your HCP account. No setup required. There's no extra tools. It's already in there. Adam, let's check out what you have.
Hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Adam. I'm on the product marketing team at House Call Pro, and I'm going to share with you a few quick tips on how you can use HCP AI in chat to organize a few aspects of your business, help direct you through your account as well. So I'm going to have a few different scenarios. The first one I'm going to start with is how to better organize your price book. So the first prompt I'm going to put in here is, what is the best way to price and organize my price book? And it's going to respond here with a few different tips on what I should do. So do a detailed cost analysis across labor, materials, overhead, price using profitable billable hours. So each job covers costs and includes your desired profit margins, adjust for market conditions, use a pricing calculator. So that's some really good tips in here. And it has a really nice summarized response at the end. Build a comprehensive price book so techs can quickly find prices, and generate estimates without delays. Love that. Okay, so I'm going to see if we can go a little bit deeper. What are other pros similar to me doing with their price book? Okay, so it comes up with a response. Use a good, better, best approach. They offer tiered packages, basic, standard, premium, so customers can choose based on budget and value. Okay, some really good insights here. Bundle complementary services, offer product material upgrades, use service plan subscriptions, some package offerings into a service plan for ongoing repeat business. Okay, this is some really good information. Going to see what are the goals I should have for setting up my price book. So you can see here, I could have a conversation really build on a few questions that help me refine certain aspects of my account. In this case, price book, super important. Now with this question, it just shares some different goals that I could set for myself. So speed in the field, build a complete price book so technicians can quickly reference pricing, generate estimates without unnecessary delays. A few other ones here: enable on-the-spot approvals, profitability, stay competitive, build trust, adjust for market conditions, and keep pricing transparent to build customer trust and strengthen your competitive edge. Okay, awesome. So just an example of how I can have a conversation with help to give me some really solid info. I'll run a different scenario now that would just basically show how it can provide information on ways I can do different things within the account. So let's see, how do I turn on automated job reminders? All right, I had a second to think, and now it's told me to turn on job reminders, go to your notification settings, find the sections. Okay, great. This is really good feedback. So from here, it provides me the link. I could just go ahead and click on this, and it'll take me directly to my notification settings. So just an example of how it'll help me navigate through my account. If I can't find something, if I'm not exactly sure on how to adjust some of my settings, help is able to do that. It's always available in the right rail as well. So hopefully these tips will be useful for you, and best of luck.
Awesome stuff. Thanks, Adam. Okay, Help AI is really one of those things that once you're using it, once you realize it's there, you're going to keep finding new ways to utilize it. The price book, navigation, account settings, it's a lot faster than going to Google or waiting on support. All right, to close out day 2 here, we're bringing on Skylar Hoover from our AI solutions team here at House Call Pro. And Skylar is going to show you how an N8N workflow that solves a specific problem most pros face. You're out on a job and your hands are full, and an email comes in from a customer who's ready to book. By the time you see that, they've already moved on, right? So Skylar built a workflow that reads your inbox, it decides what's time sensitive, and it sends a professional reply automatically. That's 4 nodes. That's it. Okay, let's check out what Skylar has.
Picture this. You're out on a job, hands full, phone on silent. Meanwhile, an email lands in your inbox. A homeowner got your bid yesterday and wants to move forward, but they're asking if you can get them on the schedule this week before they leave town. By the time you see it 3 hours later, they've already emailed 2 other pros. Today, I'm going to show you a tool that solves this problem. It reads your inbox, figures out which emails are actually time sensitive, and sends a professional reply back automatically. No coding, no developer, no guessing. The tool is called N8N. And once you see how this works, I think you're going to start imagining a dozen ways to use it in your own business. To make this concrete, let's follow an imaginary electrical pro named Marcus. Marcus gets a lot of emails every day: newsletters, supplier invoices, routine customer questions. But mixed in there are the emails that matter most. A homeowner ready to accept a bid, a property manager asking for a quote on multiple units, a past client who needs to get scheduled before a closing date. Those are the emails we're responding in 10 minutes instead of 4 hours is the difference between winning a job and losing it. Here's what he built. You'll see the workflow laid out on a canvas. 4 blocks connected left to right. I'm going to open up each one so you can see exactly what's happening inside. Let's open up the first node together. The email trigger. Think of this as a little watchdog that checks Marcus's inbox every minute. You can see the polling schedule right here. It's set to every minute. Marcus connected his Google account once, right here under credentials. And now the node just listens. When a new email arrives, it grabs the content, the subject, the body, the sender, and passes all of that to the next step. Let me close this node and move to the next one. Now we're opening the AI node. This is where it gets interesting. This is an OpenAI block connected to GPT-4o. And the magic is right here in these instructions. Marcus wrote, let me scroll through the system prompt so you can see it. Marcus told the AI to do 4 things. First, decide if this email is high priority. Things like a new lead, a customer ready to book, or a request that could slip away if it sits too long. Second, pull out the key info. The sender's name, a 1-sentence summary of what they need, and their contact info. Third, if it's a time-sensitive draft a short professional reply. And fourth, part is really smart. He told the AI not to promise specific arrival times, pricing, or guaranteed availability. Marcus doesn't want the AI actually committing him to something he can't deliver. And right here, you can see he's telling the AI to respond in a structured JSON format. So the next steps in the workflow, he can actually use the results. Let me close this one. Opening the if node next. This one is simple but important. It looks at what the AI decided and asks one question. Is high priority? True. You can see the condition right here. If yes, the email flows down the path to the right. If no, newsletter, receipt, spam, the workflow just stops. No reply sent, no noise. Closing this one and moving to the last node. Next up, we have the reply. Last node, opening up the Gmail reply step. You can see it's set to reply mode, and it's pulling 2 things dynamically. It's grabbing the original message ID, so the reply threads correctly, and it's using the draft, the reply the AI wrote, right here in the message field. When this runs, the customer gets a real email from Marcus's Google account, looking exactly like he typed it himself. 4 nodes, that's the whole thing. Let's watch it run. I'm going to send a test email as a homeowner named Sarah. She got a bid for Marcus last week for a panel upgrade. She's ready to move forward, and she's asking if we can get scheduled in the next few days because she's hosting family this weekend. Let's go ahead and send this and watch it in action. Now, we wait for the Gmail trigger to pick it up. There it goes. And look, I'm clicking into the AI node's output so you can see what it returned. Is high priority true? Sender name extracted, issue summarized, ready to bid, ready to accept bid, want scheduling this week, contact info polled, and a draft reply ready to go. The if node lets it through. The Gmail replies fires, and here we go. We can see that it was sent here, and we also can see right here that we had that email also get sent. Already in Sarah's inbox. Professional, acknowledges that she's ready to move forward, reassures her that Marcus will follow up soon about getting her on the calendar. Doesn't overpromise a specific day or time. That whole exchange happened in under a minute with 0 effort from Marcus. And Sarah walks away feeling heard instead of ignored. Now here's where you can start dreaming a little. What you just saw is only 4 blocks. You can keep building on it. So imagine if when a time-sensitive email comes in, the workflow also did this. Created a job in your House Call Pro calendar automatically. The AI already pulled out the customer's name, what they need, and their contact info. Why not drop that straight into HCP as a new job? Pre-filled and ready for you to confirm a time. Pinged your team chat. If you got a dispatcher or an office manager, they can see the hot lead in Slack or a group text and start working on scheduling before you even hang up from your current call. Log the lead in a spreadsheet. So at the end of the month, you can see how many time-sensitive emails came in, how fast you responded, and which ones turned into paying jobs. Routed different types of work to different people. You could send bid acceptances to you, general inquiries to a virtual assistant, commercial leads to your salesperson, and residential scheduling requests to your dispatcher. Triggered a follow-up sequence. If the customer doesn't reply within 24 hours, send a friendly check-in. If they do reply, log the whole conversation. Every one of these blocks you drag on the canvas and open up, just like the ones I walked you through. N8N has hundreds of pre-built connectors for House Call Pro via webhooks, for Twilio to send texts, Google Sheets, Slack, QuickBooks, and on and on. You connect them like Lego bricks. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. Now, go build something.
Okay, thank you so much, Skylar, and to all of our pros for today and sharing all these tips. Again, the theme today has been manage operations, right? And every session came back to the same idea that your business can either run on systems or it can run on your effort. And the pros you heard from today chose systems.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. To recap today, Roland showed you why consistency is a competitive advantage. How AI is what makes that achievable without adding headcount. Anthony showed you 2 things. He showed you a custom ChatGPT agent built on his own SOPs, so his team has answers at their fingertips, and a 15-minute Claude session that turned a messy tag list into a clean, documented reference for his whole team to work from. Vern showed you how to connect Claude directly to your House Call Pro account using an MCP, so you can pull a real performance snapshot and get specific actions, not just data. Then we had Adam show us that Help AI is already inside your House Call Pro account, and it's ready to help you organize your price book, navigate your settings, and get answers faster. And then lastly there, you just heard from Skylar, who showed us an N8N workflow that can read your inbox, decide what's urgent, and reply automatically. So a lead never goes unanswered just because your head's down on a job or out in the field.
Okay. One thing I want to know is what's one operational process that you're going to systemize this week, right? Pros, I want you to drop that into the chat. And then I want you to do your best to actually hold yourself to it, right? This isn't just a week of webinars and sharing info. We want you to actually take action on this. And before we let you go, I want to remind you here, there are resources that are available to you to keep this momentum going. You don't have to figure this out alone. The House Call Pro community has tens of thousands of pros already talking about exactly what you heard here today. We have many community groups, right, with pros just like you. You can check out the House Call Pros group. You can check out the Super Pros group. We have our Lady Pros group for women in the trades. If you're not already there, go join today. Our team will be dropping links in the chat. And, you know, like I said, the pros who shared their tips today, they're already in these groups. They're learning, they're growing, they're leveling up. I want you to go share what you've tried. Ask them questions, ask other pros questions, and get real advice from people who are running their businesses day to day, just like you.
Yeah, and don't forget about all of the other House Call Pro help tools that are available as well. Like we just talked about today, Help AI is right inside your House Call Pro account. Ask it anything about a feature, a workflow, something specific to your account. It knows your business and it's there whenever you need it. We've also got our Help Center. It's full of a ton of great articles, step-by-step workflow guides, video walkthroughs for almost every House Call Pro feature. Definitely recommend bookmarking that in your browser. And then, of course, we have our business coaching available. That's in the My Apps section inside your House Call Pro account. You can work directly with certified business coaches to keep the AI momentum going and then turn what you started this week into something with real results. So all of those resources are available to you. We'll drop the links to the communities and we'll be having an office hours on Friday. I know a lot of people are lost and have questions, seeing that in the chat here. So don't fret.
Okay, so yesterday, Monday, we talked about get more jobs. Today, we've been talking about manage operations. Tomorrow, we're going to start talking about making more money. So Morgan Knox tomorrow is going to kick things off with a keynote on how pros who are pulling ahead aren't just working harder. They're using AI to change smarter, to close more jobs, and to keep more of what they earn. Then Anthony Suau is going to come back. He's going to show you how to use Notebook LM to help turn your customer data into a job history, into a clear revenue picture. And Cody Brasile is going to walk you through using Claude to build a tech scorecard that helps you track which jobs are making you money and which ones are not making you money. And then Sunny Jaya is coming back. He's with our House Call Pro team. He's not AI. Someone thought he was AI yesterday. He's a real person. Sunny's going to be back tomorrow to show you what's available inside House Call Pro to help you capture more revenue on every job. And Morgan Knox is then going to, again, close us out with a bonus AI tip on using AI to help you build habits that actually stick. A lot of good information coming tomorrow. And, before we let you go here, ton of great questions in the chat. Hopefully we got to them. If we didn't, we will get to them later in the week. We have AI office hours this Friday. It's at 11 a.m. Pacific, 2 p.m. Eastern. We want you to bring your questions back to that session, right? It's going to be an interactive office hour style webinar, and we'll have pros on hand who are already doing all this stuff, and they'll be there to help you walk through whatever you're still trying to figure out. So tomorrow, we're back here again, 11 a.m. Pacific time, 2 p.m. Eastern. Hope you all got a lot of good stuff today. Really excited for the rest of the week. So we'll see you all tomorrow. Have a good day, pros.